tomorrow I'm going to ruin his life. Story time. So I've been with my boyfriend, who we'll call Steve, for 3 years now. And of course, we planned on getting married when our lives had settled down and we were in a bit of a different place. I love this guy more than anything in the world. I have sacrificed so much for Steve. She'd do anything for him. Kind of gives him the ick. I've moved away from home for Steve. I've sacrificed some incredible jobs for him. I've missed out on massive opportunities just so I can stay with Steve. I stood by Steve's side when he decided to go back to school. Don't think I can stress enough how much of my world I gave this man. Then this mother goes and cheats on me. So I found out over a month ago now. He thought he was going to get away with it forever, but of course the bloody scumbags got cocky. So I found out that he's been cheating with not one, but 2 different women. So one of them is a teaching assistant at his uni, and the other one is our best friend's girlfriend. Writing this post literally choking back the anger. The way I gave everything to this man, and now I'm about to take everything from him. His world is going to burn. I said earlier, he went back to school, he quit his job, and since then I have been paying for everything. And I was more than happy to help. I make enough to support us both, so, you know, it'll hurt to push this scumbag out to sea, but I'm sure I'll survive. So I have held out for a month now. Enough time to plan out what I will call the day his world burns. Just a nice subtle name, you know. So tomorrow we're hosting a party. I have arranged for all of his family to be in attendance. And he thinks I've invited mine as well, but unfortunately my family can't come. Shocker. I've packed all of my valuable belongings. The suitcase is already in the back of my car. So I've already called in my brother as backup. He is coming during the event tomorrow to pick up my car. Notice how I said my car? This is the car that my boyfriend has been borrowing to go to school in. Even though, like I said, this car is in my name. The joint account has been cleared. It's all my money anyway because the idiot hasn't been working. Thank you. He thinks that this party is to announce our engagement to his family. However, what will actually happen is this. I will announce my departure from his life. I already have a job lined up in a different state. I'll start by showing him the screenshots of all of the things he's ever said to these other women and the many other degenerate things his mind had come up with. The booklet of all of these things will then be passed around the room, so all of his friends and family can see what an absolute narcissist this man is. I will then hand him the notice to vacate the property. I have already taken the liberty of breaking our lease, and we need to be out of the property by the end of the month. I will then end off by saying that I've reported him to his uni for sleeping with one of the TAs in his classes, and that I'm really sad that I won't see the fallout of this situation. And his friend also has a message for him that I will deliver. This is the friend whose girlfriend he cheated with. This will inform him that his friendship group never want to see him again. With that, I will leave and I will never look back. And this is an update, so go watch part 1. Yesterday, I planned to ruin my boyfriend's life in front of his whole family. We'll call my boyfriend Steve. I worked for a month to create a scenario that I knew would cut him the deepest. I'd been patiently waiting for the moment I could storm out of this man's life in a blaze of glory. And then my story hit the front page of TikTok. I knew that something was wrong when he wasn't replying to my texts anymore. Hadn't come home hours after he said he would be. And I was kind of just hoping that it was a bit of a coincidence and a happy accident that I posted that and now he was being funny. Listen, just let me be Delulu. Listen, I don't know how many other people's fiancés are cheating on them with their best friend's girlfriend and sleeping with a teaching assistant. I feel like that might be a bit of a niche cause. However, the one that mattered in my plan ended up on his For You page. So I ended up calling his mum and she told me that he had run home to his mummy. He had told them that we'd had a small argument. From this small argument, he thought that we would probably break up. You think, Steve? You think? So when I was on the phone to his mum, she was like, so what has actually happened? Because something isn't lining up here. I quite happily told his mother everything. I then heard her screaming his name before she put the phone down. Then texted Steve and told him that he had until the morning to return my car because he had taken it. And to me, that looks a little bit like theft. Nothing like a little bit of theft on a Monday morning. And not only the police, but I said, if the car is not there, I will send screenshots of every single thing you said to these women, and I will send them to your mum, your friends, your siblings, any future girlfriends that you may just happen to get. Safe to say, my car was sat in my driveway this morning as soon as I woke up. I did contemplate sending everyone the text anyway, just, you know, for a bit of fun. Oh, but then his mum sent me a really, really heartfelt text yesterday morning, and she was apologising for her own son's behaviour. Like, Sandra, you are not in the wrong here, honey. And to be fair, I do feel like his family can probably be spared from his degenerate actions. So me and my dad are moving all of my stuff out of our flat later today. And this is a message for Steve. I know you'll be watching this, you cowardly piece of shit. Just know that I'm not above sending out those screenshots if you dare to come back into my life ever again. Oh, and all your best friends also have all of the screenshots and all the information. And obviously I can't control what they do with it, so best of luck, hon. My husband got my best friend pregnant 2 weeks into our marriage. Story time. I am at an absolute loss. I have no clue what to do here. So my fiance Steve and I have been together for 6 years. And we have the most amazing relationship. After being together for so long and freshly married, we thought we'd go crazy and have a bit of fun. So I asked my fiance if he would be willing to have a... Nope. It would be a one-off experience for us both. So we agreed, we had a good chat about it, and I ended up asking my best friend to be a part of it. I thought we were close, we were comfortable with each other, we all knew each other, we respected each other. So fast forward to the night, we all had quite a lot to drink. To be honest, I mean, I don't remember a lot. The whole night just felt like a really, really exciting blur. Anyway, my best friend Amy called me last week and dropped an absolute bombshell. Ended up calling me whilst I was at work and told me that she was pregnant. And she said that she was 99.9% sure that Steve was in fact the father. You are the father! And he was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I knew this would happen. And I was like, sorry? He goes, yeah, I knew that the nope. Would split, but I didn't think anything bad would come of it. Steve? And then to add on top of that, Amy wants to keep the baby. I have no idea what to do in this situation. I sent an anonymous letter to my dad just to mess with his head because I hate him. Story time! So my dad is just not a nice person. You can fill in the gaps with whatever that means to you. Kindest of man to his children from his first 2 marriages. However, within the community, he is so well respected. He will go to great lengths to keep up these appearances. He is a retired policeman, a devout Christian, and his 3rd wife and 3rd set of children are all seemingly unaware of the type of person that he truly is. So my dad has 7 children in total from all marriages. And because he's such a top-class guy, he's kept his child from his first marriage a secret from his wife now. Tell the truth. I've basically had no contact with my dad or any of my biological family for about 5 years now. My dad always told me when I was younger that if anything got out about the type of person he was, he would himself and write in the letter that it was all my fault. I've kept his secrets for coming up 30 years now, and over the past couple of years I've been going to therapy, working on myself, and it's really been helping me work through all the shame and guilt that was imposed on me from my childhood. But now I am ready to fuck shit up. I have this overwhelming need for justice. I have a lot of rage going on. If I wanted real life legal justice, I couldn't do that because the statute of limitations is long gone now. Thus, I got my own idea. I decided I was going to do everything within my power to mess with him. I wanted this man to feel afraid. My mascara is drier than the Sahara right now. I want him to experience fear, paranoia, anxiety. I don't really even care if it brings on his demise within the community. It's actually kind of what I'm going for. I'm literally sitting here with a bowl of popcorn waiting for it all to go down. So I sent him a card mailed from a far away post office. Because, you know, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. Made sure to not include a return address. So on the card, it was plain white and had black text that said, thinking of you. And I printed out a picture of a flower. Specifically a poisonous flower. And then inside I wrote, I remember, do you? And then I tore a page from the Bible, which just, can I say, felt very wrong to do. It was from Luke and highlighted the following verse. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. Luke 8:17. I thought the card and its context were quite poetic, and I sent it so that it would arrive on his birthday, so he'd open it just thinking that it was like a nice birthday card. Here's some paranoia. I plan to continue to send things to him just randomly, sporadically, nothing too close together, but not far enough so he forgets. I've actually made a journal. So anytime I get a nice little idea, I can make sure that I don't forget it. I lived in fear of him for literally all my life. It feels really, really good that I can return the favour. I think I may have got with my boyfriend's dad. Story time. So for a bit of background, I found out 3 years ago that my boyfriend was cheating on me. I received an email whilst I was at work with the subject line of, I thought you should know. That evening, I confronted him with the video and I asked what the hell was going on. Out came the cheater's anthem. Not what it seems, I love you, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. Shouldn't have done it in the first place, but what proceeded after that was hands down the hardest few years of my life. I distanced myself from literally everyone I knew. I moved from London to Manchester. I got rid of every single bit of social media that I had. So after about a year of this, I decided that it was time to get my life back together. So I went to the gym, I did a lot of therapy. I was really enjoying life. The gym really helped me get my head right. At the start, I was really embarrassed to go. I was really awkward, but I ended up meeting this guy there. We'll call this guy Steve. Steve was maybe like late 40s, early 50s, and Steve was fit. He was tall, dark, and handsome. He had this really cool sleeve with like a skull tattooed on his hand. It started one day with him just giving little bits of tips and advice, and then it slowly progressed to him getting a little bit flirty, a bit handsy. But I made it very clear that I literally wasn't looking for anything after what had happened. So after a year of having my life back on track and seeing this Steve guy, I decided that I was ready for more. I wanted a little career change, so I was going to go back to uni. But the course I wanted to do is in Nottingham, so I had to move away, meaning I'd have to move away from Steve. But it was chill because we were really casual. He just wished me luck and we parted ways. I did really miss Steve when I moved away. We'd been seeing each other like 3 or 4 times a week for about a year. Really nice to me and kind of restored my faith in men. Classes were going really well, and just after freshers I met this really nice guy. His name was Dave, and me and Dave got paired up to do a project together, and through this we started to get really close. So one day I ended up getting really ill and I missed my morning class, but Dave was apparently really worried about me and he came to check on me. This foundation does not match, but who cares. And after this we realised that we actually had so much in common. We'd had a very similar situation with our family, being that we don't really have much to do with them anymore, we're just not very close. The more time that went on, we realised that we actually didn't know anything about the families of each other. However, he did tell me that his parents had him when they were super young, they were still married. So let's bring it back to current times. Last week, Dave tells me that he was chatting to his parents and he mentioned that he was seeing someone. They were super interested because he hadn't had a relationship in a really long time. They asked if they could meet me. I was really nervous. I hadn't met parents in a very long time. I was asking more and more questions about them. And I asked if he had a photo of his parents. His mum is beautiful. She has this like incredible blonde hair, like a bouncy blow dry. And his dad was tall, dark and handsome, super muscly with a big sleeve and a skull tattooed on his hand. I was like, oh my god, your mum's so pretty. Your dad looks nice. What are their names? And he goes, oh, my mum's name is Amy and my dad's name is Steve. My question to you is, what do I do? I obviously know what it feels like to be cheated on, so I don't want to break his mum's heart. Do I just not say anything and hope that his dad doesn't say anything either? Or do I just tell Dave what happened? I just really don't want to lose everything that I have with Dave. So please help me, what on earth do I do?